microphone.
Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. Everybody's got their mics on this morning as we start a work day on a Tuesday. Thank goodness it's a Tuesday because thank goodness tomorrow's going to be Wednesday.
Which is hump day.
Exactly right.
Tuesday is Ruby Tuesday.
That's right.
What's Thursday?
Thursday is Hurry Up Friday.
Thursday. What do they call it? Maudlin Thursday, or what is it on Easter week? There's some name for Thursday.
Yeah. Well, we look like somebody this morning. We were by the Matthews Law Firm yesterday and picked up our hats, and just think that the phenomenal thing about this that you're holding, Rice, was actually at the Masters on Tuesday, this last Tuesday. Yeah. Either in a box ready to sell or already out ready to sell.
How many did they sell?
Oh, no tellings, but moving around, I don't see the logo. The logo is just it's the top logo in America. What everybody tells me.
Yeah,
that right there. And of course, it's the Masters. You see that? Yeah, this guy's been to the Masters, or that hat has been to the Masters.
Well, thank you, Mr. Will Matthews, for this wonderful present.
Will,
and thank you for Mike going down there and getting it.
Will did I was glad to go down there and enjoyed visiting with Will and his people down there, and of course it's no big deal to him. He just buys about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of stuff.
And then he says you can check it like you do your luggage or a coat at a restaurant, and they save it for you. They must have a huge storage facility.
They do have a few. It's just like taking care of baggage,
So when you're leaving, you go in and say Will Matthews, and they go and get your stuff. You don't have to carry it around all day.
That's exactly right.
But Will said yesterday, I said, how much merchandise do they sell? Because everybody that goes to that tournament does the same thing Will did. And he said something like $850,000 an hour.
I wouldn't doubt it.
This tournament, this club makes a lot of money, and I don't begrudge them that at all. Yeah. So they have such a great tournament.
But they do it in a classy way. I'll tell you that. They don't just.
Well, they get TV rights, and then they get the merchandise and selling their stuff, and they sell tickets.
Oh yeah.
So they have some good revenue streams at Augusta National.
Well, we're awfully proud that we've got a good friend that goes every year and brings us back hats and T-shirts and more or less like hats and visors. Michael got 2 visors, and we had a couple other guys. Yeah, and of course
on TV on Saturday and Friday, I noticed a lot of people wearing Masters sweaters, pullovers, because these people came to Augusta and they did not realize how cold it was going to be. So they went in the souvenir shop and bought them a sweater, and then they didn't check it. They just put it on.
And a lot of them, when they pick it up, it'll be $165. I paid $165 for a sweater vest, but it was a
cashmere, nice one.
It was a cashmere, and it had the logo on it and all that. And I still wear it sometimes. I'll in fact enjoy wearing it.
Well, they sell beer and cokes and pimento cheese sandwiches and chicken salad.
That's right.
On the course. And
they have even the wrapping that they have is in a green, and so it won't show up out there so like garbage,
I bet you there is nobody on the grounds, and there must be 40,000 people at the tournament that would litter someplace that beautiful.
Oh, I know it. I don't think so.
It's about like Disney World. I just came back from Disney World, and they keep Disney World so clean that what person would litter Disney World? Not many. And then, plus, if they did, they have people running around picking it up as soon as you drop it.
Our show today will be full of sports and a lot of still talk on the great brand of golf and character that Scotty Scheffler displayed at the Masters. And remember that name, Scotty Scheffler. He's going to be a good one. Of course, we are also talking about where in the world is this young Manning going to go to school? And I just can't see him going to Alabama, but Alabama is on their list, and it'll be up to him from here on out. I've got a feeling he'll go to Ole Miss or LSU or
Texas.
Texas. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm crossing my fingers as an Alabama fan, but I'm with you. I would be surprised. Just none of the Mannings have seriously considered Alabama before. But who knows? It'll be fun to watch. You said that I watched him as a sophomore. He was already highly touted then. You know, his games were on TV, some of them. And I said, the one game I watched, I said, ooh, it really is good.
Yeah.
And but then you said you watched him a couple times last year, and he wasn't a world beater.
It didn't look like one, but he was just a sophomore. I believe
he was a junior,
when I saw him actually play. But he's got the stature. He's a big, strong-looking kid, and or at least he's tall. It says Alabama football fans of a certain age still wince at the name alone. Manning, ouch. It says historically the first family of the SEC quarterbacks has a bit of quite a thorn in the side of the Crimson Tide in the here and now. Alabama is no solid position is right now is on the list at Alabama and on his list.
Well, let's think.
Finally, Manning of his own, and his name is Arch, and of course he's the grandson of Archie Manning.
Well, I can remember Alabama beat Archie in one of the more famous games.
I saw that game on TV. Did you?
No, I was too little to. I was alive, but I was too little to follow it. But Archie had a great game in a losing effort against a battle against Scott Hunter-led Alabama. Skip forward, though, I remember Peyton Manning. I want to say his Tennessee team lost his freshman year, and he was just starting to play a little. He wasn't the main guy as a freshman, but he was his sophomore and junior and senior years, and Alabama never beat him.
Yeah, I know this that I watched on TV. It was one of the first live television broadcasts ever, and I think that's true to say. And Chris Schenkel was the play-by-play announcer, and I'll tell you one thing that happened. Of course, you know, Scott Hunter had a super night for Alabama. He threw for over 300 yards. Manning threw for over 400 yards.
And he ran for a lot,
and ran for another 100 at least. And the thing that beat him was George Raniger. Raniger to the 10, Raniger to the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Raniger to the midfield to the 50. Oh, he's going to break clean at the 45. He's at the 40, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20.
You've been doing it by tens.
The 10, 5, 4 touchdown, Alabama. George Raniger ran the kickoff back. I want to say it's the second half kickoff
that was the difference.
For a touchdown. That gave Alabama the victory, and it was a great win for Alabama. And then Manning on national TV put on a show, and that's where
I'll tell you what that was.
That's where it all started.
I think that was the first primetime night live college football game.
That's right. And I'll tell you something else. A real good trivia question. I don't know. Michael's not coming in yet. You know what else was significant in that game? If you're for Alabama, Rice, it was something that's never been done since. That year, Alabama wore a sticker on both sides of their helmets with 100 on it. It was the 100th.
Interesting.
It was the 100th deal.
No, it wasn't the 100th.
No, it was the 100th.
No,
I know what I'm talking about.
1992 was the 100th.
No. Well, let's just say this: for some reason it had 100th on both sides of the helmet.
The 100th year of college football, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Not Alabama football.
No, the college football.
Okay.
College football. 100 years.
The sport of college football.
Yeah,
I got you.
Of college football was played that night, And David Bailey was a big star for Alabama in that game, and of course, it was Alabama won the game, but Manning won all the fanfare, and he was a legend after that. After that game, he was a legend, and he never stopped being a legend.
He was going to win the Heisman, or one year he was having a great season and he got hurt. I don't know if it was later got hurt.
Broke his arm. I remember that. Played against Auburn with a actual cast.
I wish I could have watched him play. I've seen some clips of him, and he was kind of a Doug Flutie before Doug Flutie, or Manziel. He could run. He could just run around, and nobody could tackle him.
He was like a Doug Flutie. He ran around like that, but he was 6'3". He was 6'3". He was tall, and he could run, and he could throw, and he was just a great quarterback. But he was more of a scrambler. He was a scrambler.
Like Francis.
He was a lot like Francis Tarkenton. You're exactly right. And I bet if you ask him today who was one of his heroes, it would have been Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton doesn't get enough attention. He put up some huge numbers.
And Fran Tarkenton played for who and what team?
Played for the Georgia Bulldogs. My dad played against him.
That's right. And what was the name of the coach for Georgia?
Wally Butts.
Wally Butts. Wally Butts.
Who was one of his teammates?
Patrick
Fain Dye.
That's right. Sure was.
Patrick Fain Dye was the captain of the Georgia football team.
Yeah.
Great player.
I will tell you something about this guy, it's something that happened to me on my junior year at Charles Simpson High School. The banquet, Bill Sanford flew over and picked up the Georgia coach.
Vince Dooley?
No,
Wally Butts?
Wally Butts went over and picked up Wally Butts, and Wally Butts came to the Charles Simpson High School sports banquet.
Wow.
And he spoke to the Charles Simpson High School sports banquets, and he told a lot of stories. One of the ones he told was this one. He said, well, we were getting beat real hard, real bad, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get by anything. And I bumped into this lady. I said, ma'am, excuse me. She said, no, hell no. She said, no, excuse me. He said, ma'am, please, excuse me, no offense, please. She turned around and said, no, hell no, no offense. And I remember that was one little thing he said while he was visiting us. But
well, what I remember Wally Butts for was the alleged Butts-Bryant football fixing scandal that was not a football fixing scandal, that was the huge news in the SEC in its day. There was a trial. Wally Butts sued the Saturday Evening Post.
That's right.
He won.
They won.
Coach Bryant testified.
Coach Bryant won too, didn't he?
Well, he later settled for a lot of money. He didn't want to go to trial, and he pretty much shut the Saturday Evening Post down.
I want to say it was a six-figure deal, something like that.
But the idea that they had fixed that football game was ridiculous, because on the face of it, because Alabama was just so much better. They didn't need to.
No, they didn't need to. In that game,
Alabama won 35 to nothing or something.
Exactly. I'll tell you something about it.
Guten Morgen.
Wolf Jack State night. Wolf Jack State.
What happened? Do we play Jack State tonight?
Yeah.
Well, good. That gives me something to do. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna go to that game.
Wear one of your master's hats.
What?
No, you need to wear a Troy hat.
Well, yeah, I'll wear a Troy hat. And we got us Mike, he's got a hat sitting out in front of him this morning for the Masters. But let me tell you.
Will's been very good to us over the years. I've probably gotten about 8 or 9 Masters.
It's not the visor that I'm used to, though, Mike. I like the broader head thing. These are not broadhead.
Well, he got me a white master visor that looks normal, and then there's a green one that looks
okay.
I've never had that one before. So
well, you got it now. You've got it.
Change up for me.
Yeah, and of course you got it now. I would like to mention one other thing before we get off this Johnny Vault. There was a
Wally Butts, you mean?
I mean, Johnny Ball.
Johnny Ball was another.
How about Wally Butts, the Georgia coach? Georgia, there was a play in that year. It might have been the next year, and I'm not sure that that he was the coach. It might have been
Vince Dooley, a young
it could have been Vince Dooley, where he threw a pass and the receiver caught the ball.
Yep.
It was obvious that his knees were on the ground. You could see it so obvious. And he pitched back to a guy named Kent Lawrence, and Kent Lawrence went 80 yards for a
hook
touchdown.
and ladder.
And they beat it. It was a hook and ladder, and it was a hook and ladder where the guy was already down. It was obvious that he was already down, but that SEC crew missed it, and he went 80 yards for a touchdown.
I think that was the only loss Alabama had that year.
Sure did. Sure was.
And it really was on a bogus call. Did y'all watch the Alabama-Florida softball game last night?
I did not.
Well, Alabama was getting beat 9-5 in the 6th inning when I turned it off. But Alabama was leading 5-3 in the 4th, and then Florida gets 6 runs in 1 inning. They run Alabama's favorite famous pitcher.
Huh.
Then the second string.
Montana Foul.
Yeah, they took her out. Then they put in the second girl that's supposed to be almost as good, and she didn't do good either. But the key play in the game was somebody for Florida got a single. They had the bases loaded, so that scored a run. Then the left fielder threw the ball into the infield, and they caught a Florida base runner in a rundown between second and third. During that rundown, there was a person on third, and that person took off for home, and the shortstop fires it to the Alabama catcher, and she tags out the Florida run. But she drops the ball. Safe. And I thought, man, the catcher was having a rough game. I was watching it with Frank Fryer. I said, oh, she's having a rough game. Frank said, no, they pulled that base runner pulled that ball out of her mitt. And sure enough, they showed the instant replay, and that Florida, she was out, and she just yanked the glove pretty much off her hand, and that's when the ball, that should have been an out, right? That's illegal. You can't do that, right?
They can't review stuff?
Well, that's what we said, is that should have been reviewed. So the umpire missed it, and then Alabama's coach should have been raising heck, telling them to do that. And then after that, the bottom fell out, and that was the game.
Yeah, Troy plays Jack State tonight at 6 o'clock. Troy is 21-10, 8-4 in the Sun Belt. Jack State is 13-16, 7-5 in the conference. Since the rivalry dates back to 1962, Troy holds an all-time record of 87 wins to 61 losses to Jack State. They're 45-29 at the friendly confines of Riddle Pace Field. Are you surprised this baseball rivalry doesn't go back?
No, I would have thought it went back. You said it. Where did you say it started?
1962.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me, but we'll take it.
Well, we're leading.
These sports information guys don't know what they're talking about, do they? Didn't Troy play Jack State in the 50s?
I would think they did. But
Rudy Abbott used to be the sports.
Baseball was not a big sport though, even back then. But I can remember.
You're still talking about 60 years.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I know they played in the 50s. Frank Sandler told me that. He played against them in the 50s. And no.
He's got a great overall record though, of 87-61.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Troy leads the series against Jack State in baseball. We lead it in basketball. We found out when we went to that game this year because Troy was only leading by 1 game, I think, and then Troy won. So Troy is now up in the basketball series by 2. I don't know about football.
Before we get away from this,
probably lead that.
This Arch Manning deal. He's from Isandori. I reckon that's how you pronounce it. Isandori, Louisiana. Went to Newman High School. And here's the schools that he's looking at: Georgia, Texas, Clemson, LSU, Ole Miss, and as of late, those yuppies from Virginia. They might let him have a place on that. What do you call it? It's famous. It's a row there where several people. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not exaggerating here. At one time, it was a place where They had no electricity. The place had no electricity, no air conditioning, nothing like that, and you had a fireplace, and that was tradition. It was called. I wish somebody'd call it and tell me about it, but it was the greatest honor that you could have as a student. It was to live on that row there, where they have electricity now, but at one time when Ralph Sampson, the great 7-foot basketball player, lived on it. No electricity.
Wow, interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
My great parent this morning, I walked in and my daughter has gotten in her Easter bunny basket and is eating nerves.
Oh no!
We had
I'm sure the preschool teachers really appreciate it.
I need to sing
candy this morning.
yeah. In your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
That's good, Mike.
On the avenue, bum, 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 bum. Fifth Avenue, bum, 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 bum. Bum, da, dum, dum, bum.
Awesome.
I was singing to my little girl right there. Did she hear it, Mike?
No, she did not. I'm in the office with the door shut.
Okay, I got you.
She's in there watching The Little Mermaid, I think.
Thank you.
At First Methodist Church, we had an Easter egg hunt for the youth of the church Saturday, and you know whose house it was at? One of
yours.
No.
No, I'll tell you, the Span house.
Nope, Mr. Ben Beard. The
Beard
house.
Well, that's great. I know Ben enjoyed that.
They do it every year. And so
that's right.
My kids got some Easter egg candy already, too.
And that's traditionally John Beard, and I think that's wonderful. Yeah. I hope Ben's listening this morning or watching us on Troy Cable or Spree. We appreciate all of you watching today. What?
Ceasefire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And we're proud to be a part of it and those great people. And, of course, it's going to be hard for me not to say Troy Cable, and I apologize if I say Troy Cable, but that is Ceasefire is the new owner of Troy Cable. And I want to say hello to my good friends at First Cahaba Bank, and, of course, Grady and all those great guys. That's a super bank located just off Highway 231 in Troy.
We need as many banks as we can because Troy and Pike County are growing.
Oh, it really is, and I tell you, that's a super bank.
Grady Camps.
Grady Camps is, that bank originally it's actually under the control of a bank in Selma, and of course they're great people and been in the banking business a long time, and we're so glad that they chose Troy to put one of their
Have
branches.
You noticed what is that, apartments they're building behind CVS?
Yeah, isn't that amazing how that looks?
Yeah.
I was riding through there just recently, and now they've opened it all up.
Yeah.
And you can see it from the road, and boy, let's talk about this a minute. All the new development for housing.
Right.
All right, a huge development just off of South Brundage Street, right at the corner, pretty much of the university and the
right down from us.
Yeah, that's right down from us. But and of course that's a big development, and then you've got a couple of developments there behind the drugstore, like you said.
They are building nice homes out Elm Street Road.
Oh, yeah.
I ride out there from time to time to take Maggie to one of her friends, and that's where several of the coaches live.
Beautiful
nice
area, yeah.
homes, and they're building more with a lot of acreage and
beautiful
space.
And then of course,
real hilly back that way.
And I'll tell you another place they're building quite a bit. Really building up is off of oh gosh, you're gonna get me having to name these names of these roads, and I don't know them all, these new roads, but a lot of development out.
You're talking about back behind Publix right there?
Yeah, behind Publix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of development in the sportsplex, and on
that opened up a whole new part of Troy. That was
Yeah.
And then the development that is.
That's a great shortcut too for me to head back to the beach. I like
Oh yeah, it really is a great shortcut.
Coming out of Pinker's gas station, bypass a lot of stuff.
Well, all right, yeah, and also you can come out at what I say, the intersection of. Gosh, again, I've got to name streets and I can't do it.
You go out in the country though. There's some nice homes and really developments.
Well, out toward the airport. There's development out toward the Troy Airport.
Well,
and
going down, what is it, the Spring Hill Road or one of these roads, you take the back way to Brundage.
Exactly.
There are pretty houses. You know what's happening? Well, people like to live in the country, but I think some of these people are from off. They want land and they can get cheap land.
Right,
and I mean, there are people coming from California or New
York
or New
South
Jersey,
Florida,
South Florida. They're talking Florida. Man, I tell you, Mike, driving down to Central Florida.
Yeah.
There's two. My daughter asked me, "Dad, would you like to live here?" And I said, "Heck no." Way too many.
No tall trees either. No tall trees.
Way too much. I mean, the traffic coming to a halt on interstate highways both ways, and I just saw homes and people everywhere I looked. There's too many people in Florida, and so the spillover has got to come into Alabama, right?
95.
There's 22 million people that live in Florida.
95 takes you to New York City, and then it also takes you to Miami, Florida. How about that? Interstate 95.
95.
And of course, you went down 75 to go to.
I went through.
I tell my wife all the time. I lived in Birmingham for 17 years. And, I was on the road a lot, traveling throughout the state and on a lot of interstates. And I tell you what, I don't miss living in Birmingham for traffic. I mean, everybody talks about 98 down here being congested and a lot of traffic. This is like a joke to me compared to what I used to drive on a daily basis.
My wife just came back from a education conference overnight in Birmingham, and that's what she said when she came back. She said the traffic is just too bad in Birmingham.
I mean, 65 from Montgomery to Birmingham is a wreck every day.
Oh yeah, and I've been in it a lot. Yeah, I've been in that
y'all
traffic.
Hear Auburn's projections of their depth chart in football?
Oh yeah, let's find out. Yeah, you Auburn fans, get ready, get your pen and pencil ready.
This year, Auburn.
All right, all you people that say we don't talk about Auburn enough, here it comes.
Brian Hart's was the head coach. He had a great year last year, went 6-7. Zach Etheridge from Troy is one of the assistant coaches. Brent Bedsole is Mike Amos's cousin and my cousin. Is the high school football relations coordinator. So we have relationships on the staff. We need to have some of these guys on, Dad.
I know it. I'm gonna see if we can before long. Brent Bedsole.
Your quarterback race is T.J. Finley, who played last year at Auburn, former LSU transfer, or Robbie Ashford, redshirt freshman, Oregon transfer, or Zach Calzada, redshirt junior, Texas A&M transfer. What do you think about that?
I know you're right. That's gonna be a battle.
An LSU transfer, an Oregon transfer, and a Texas A&M transfer.
That is amazing. And all came out of the portal, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that unreal?
Now, I'll speaking of the portal.
I don't know. Did Finley have to sit out a year?
No.
I think Finley came straight out of the portal.
Yeah, nobody sits out anymore. I was reading AL.com this morning and saw that Alabama's lost 2 more players to the portal in the basketball team. And they said that is 7 since this season ended.
Off the basketball team.
You only have 13 scholarships, so more than half of your team.
And I'm going to tell you why that tells me. They don't like the coach. And I watch his demeanor. I watch some of his demeanor. I don't sort of like him either.
I'll say 3 or 4 of those guys rode the bench and didn't play at all.
One of these was a walk-on. So there's 6 scholarship guys.
There's 3 scholarships and 1 walk-on guy that never played.
You don't, Coach. You don't pay enough attention to me. Listen, I was an all-state performer at this school, and you don't even play me, Coach.
All right, running back Auburn is loaded. They got Tank Bigsby coming back. He's a junior. They got another really good running back that was a really good player last year as a freshman, Jarquez Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So Auburn looks good at running backs. Tight end, Auburn kept all their tight ends. They kept John Samuel Schenker. He's a super senior. He decided to come back for a 6th year. Tyler Fromm had a big touchdown catch against LSU last year. That's Jake Fromm's brother. He's back at tight end. And then Luke Bill is also back at tight end. So Auburn has all their tight ends coming back. Wide receiver, Cedric Jackson played last year. He's back. Devon Capers is a junior. He's back. Wide receiver, Javarius Johnson, redshirt junior, is back. Tavares Dawson, redshirt freshman. Never heard of him. Wide receiver Z, Malcolm Johnson Jr. and Layden King. Left tackle is Kalen Zaire. Brandon Coffey, left guard Brandon Cancel. He's back as a super senior. Cam Stutz is back, redshirt senior. Center Nick Brabhams, super senior, back. Jalen Irwin is his backup, redshirt senior. Right guard, Tundrell Jones, redshirt junior. His backup Tate Johnson, redshirt sophomore, is back. Right tackle, Austin Troxel, super senior, is back. So Auburn's offensive line is real experienced. Alex Jackson, super senior, is back at right tackle as well.
You said it looks good.
They're old. They got a lot of
experience coming back.
Yeah, that's good.
That helps.
They're gonna be Auburn's gonna be tough.
That's Auburn's offense. Defense, Derek Hall's back. He's a senior. Defensive tackle, Marcus Harris is back, junior, played last year. Big pickup here. Auburn got a big transfer defensive tackle out of Oregon. He's originally from Calera, Alabama, but went all the way to Oregon. I think it's Jason Jones. They have him the projected starter at defensive tackle. Defensive end, Kobe Wooten is back. He's been a starter. Linebacker, Owen Pope is back. Cam Riley Jr. is his backup. Linebacker, Wesley Steiner. Cole Willis and Eugene Asante are all back at linebacker. Then quarterback Nehemiah Pritchett's back. Jalen Simpson's back. Devon Kaufman back. He was a Vanderbilt transfer.
Now this is the same defense that held that shut Alabama down. You remember that?
Alabama still almost had 400 yards. Safety Zion Puckett. Safety K.M. Bridges. And then their specialist kicker is, God, I'm just so sick of these names. Anders Carlson is back again.
Oh God, you're right.
That's like 10 years that Carlson's been kicking an Auburn.
And that means they can score at any time with inside of 40 yards. Isn't that right?
Yep.
And then punter Oscar Chapman is back. He's a junior, Australian guy. Long sucker Jacob Cotterbaum is back. And your holder is Oscar Chapman. He's back. Kick returner is Nehemiah Pritchett, Devon Kaufman, or Tank Bigsby. Punt returner is Devon Kaufman or Tank Bisbee. Auburn's got a lot of players back. I don't know if that's a good thing coming off 6 and 7 though.
Yeah.
Well, they looked. Auburn's just Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
They were running along, having a really good season, and then the wheels came off. But
I'm gonna
they still
tell you,
they
this
still
guy
should have beat
Alabama,
Alabama, which could have won the national championship.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy's got something special about him, Mike. I think he's got something special about him. You know, he don't raise hell. He don't get in front of the media and starts lambasting anybody. He just holds his cool. He's got class. It looks like he's got class. Auburn needs somebody who's got class. And hey, I got a feeling. Look out for Auburn, top 10 at least.
Well, there you go. Wow. Might be right.
Top 10 at least.
It's
What'd you say?
The Texas A&M kid's going to be the quarterback, and then they've got 2 good running backs, as you said. The offensive line is all seniors or been there 4 or 5 years.
There's a lot of people like to get on the phone and say, "Hey, well, look, now we don't trust Mike." So
the defense seems like it's got plenty of experience. Yeah, Auburn could beat everybody on their schedule next year.
So look
maybe
out.
Georgia.
Y'all want to go over their schedule again real quick? Just,
yeah. All right, we will. And let's say whether they win or lose.
Did not think that's going to be top 10?
All right, let's go.
All right, I'll pull it up here. Need to check on some of these local players from originally from Troy too. We need to see how Chad's daughter's doing in softball for Auburn. Y'all, bro?
Yeah, how's she doing? I haven't heard from her. No.
I don't know. I have to pull that up. right, here's Auburn's schedule right here. Mercer,
Win.
San Jose State,
Win.
Penn State. I'm gonna say loss.
Now, I'm going to say win. They play every game at home for the first 5 games.
Yep, I say win.
Well, I'd say win, yeah.
Missouri, I'm gonna say
Win.
Win. 4-0.
LSU. I'm gonna say loss.
Where they play that game?
Auburn.
Oh, Auburn's going to win.
Yeah, Auburn's going to win.
Auburn plays their
They're
first
5-0.
games at Auburn. So that means from September 3rd till October 1st, every weekend will be spent in Auburn by the Wildcats.
All you tailgaters, all you big Auburn fans, all you wise boys out there, go ahead and plant your trailer because y'all gonna be there a lot.
5-0 is a distinct possibility.
All right, they open up 5-0. All right, go ahead.
All right, at Georgia, loss.
Loss.
Well, I don't know, but I'll put them a loss there because they're playing at Georgia.
At Ole Miss, loss.
What makes me? I don't know. I just can't figure Ole Miss beating anybody. Last time I was there, I was at that game. Auburn killed them. I'm gonna take Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, 50-50. It's a coin flip. Yeah.
This guy will figure a way to lose. All right, go ahead. This is Ole Miss, I would say.
You got them 6-1.
Arkansas and C.J. Jefferson at home on October 29th.
Well, I think because they win and because they got a good defense, they win. They win over a very good Arkansas team. Go ahead.
Ooh, that's gonna be a great game. I don't know what to pick on that game. Auburn does have 2.
All you think about is that quarterback. They can shut that quarterback down.
All right. After that, at Mississippi State in Starkville against
Win.
Will Rogers.
8-1.
Win. I'll take it.
I can't. I'm not sure on that. That's a maybe game for me. 50-50 game on that. Texas A&M at home. I'm gonna say Auburn loses.
All right. Auburn loses to A&M. I'll take that. Go ahead.
8-2.
Western Kentucky at home.
Win.
9-2.
I'll say win. All right. Alabama on the road.
I'll take Alabama.
9-3.
Got them 9-3, a solid 9-3. But it's a tough schedule.
I'm leaning more towards 7-5 at best, 8-4.
All right, it's 9-3. I've got them 9-3 with wins over LSU and Arkansas. So, all right. So listen to this.
You got them losing to Georgia, Texas A&M, and Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. And those are all three of the top programs in the country. It is a very, very tough schedule. But Auburn's
I see an interesting game, though. You'll think I'm crazy, but I feel like this guy's a pretty good coach, and I know he's bringing in a new quarterback. Missouri on September 24th is going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah, it is. And where they play that game?
I mean, all those games were in Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn's playing 5 straight home games. I know they did this a few years ago, and I'd never heard of a team able to play 5 straight home games, but they're able to pull it off.
I haven't either.
I'm going to tell you this. There's something special about this guy that we don't know yet. I'm telling you.
Well, he was this close to being run off. Everybody thought he was gone at one point, remember?
And let's just say he beat Alabama.
So it would be a great story for this guy that was this close to being gone to win a national championship or do something he's not supposed to, which I think it could happen too.
I tell you what, Auburn fans can get excited. I'm telling you. I'll get Brent on our show soon. Hey, we've got a Masters hat here that we're going to give away to the next April Fools. I guess.
That's my Masters hat.
Hey there. Is that Millie or is that Mary Prater?
No, it's Millie.
Good morning, Millie. How you doing?
Hey, Millie.
You want to say hi to everybody out there listening?
Huh?
She's eating her breakfast this morning.
Yeah, she wants a new movie to watch.
Okay, Mike, I tell you, we got something real interesting. This is away from the Auburn deal for a second. Troy has snuck in here, Mike, and has signed a kid from, of all places, Success Unlimited.
Wow.
He's 6'8" forward. His name is Randy Ovala. Randy Ovala. He averaged 27.9 points per game last year with 14.4 rebounds per game and 3 block shots. He led the Mustangs to a 14-6 record, shot over 60% from the field, and it says here he's a Troy signee.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that a while back, actually. I think he's from overseas somewhere.
And he must be growing, hopefully, to be a 7-footer before it's all over with. And but I thought that was interesting.
Wouldn't that be funny if we get a kid from Success Unlimited, and then next year we get Coach Cross's son from White Liberal?
That's right. That's right.
Good kids.
That's right.
I hope Coach Cross can keep all his players.
This kid was the first team all Alabama, the private schools. He was the first team all-state performer.
Do anybody know where Success Unlimited is in Montgomery?
I want to say it's in Birmingham.
No, it's in. I know where their original campus was. I think they moved though, and they expanded. But I used to call on them when I worked for Cumulus for advertising.
There's a interesting name they chose.
Yeah, I know it.
Success Unlimited. Yep.
But I thought that was interesting this morning. I just sort of crept up on it. I didn't know that we were even looking at a kid. But a lot of these kids are still growing, and he might be a 7-footer one day. All you know. But he evidently he's a good scorer, and he averaging 28 points a game and 14 rebounds. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. No, he's not playing.
Wonder how he did when he played against Pike. Maybe somebody can tell us.
Yeah, I know it.
What was Pike's tallest player?
I don't know. Let's see.
They had a couple guys who were 6'5", 6'6", I think.
And I was, of course, the Montgomery Advertiser had their all-state list today to look at. And,
Pike Liberal Arts has won 2 consecutive football state championships, 2 consecutive basketball, 2 consecutive baseball. And it would have been 3, except COVID canceled one season. But they can win 3 consecutive, and I think this will be a 3-peat if they win this year. Because you called that game that Pike Liberal Arts won against the Selma School, Morgan Academy.
That's right, sure did. We've caught a lot of games over the years for those teams. I was
People aren't making a big enough deal out of that run of success. I know it's only 12 to 15 teams in their division, but still, nobody's ever done it before.
Well, you look down these lists, and this kid has got to be, just looking at him, 6'8", a kid from.
Yeah, he's got a name. He's from, obviously,
Randy Ovallo. Randy Ovallo will get ready to watch him play.
His family can come see him play. It's not.
We're going to take a short break right here. We'll be right back.
It's Ford Truck Month. America, you know what to do. Now's the time to get after the best deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, 45 years straight. Also, great offers on Ford Ranger and the new Ford Maverick. Ford Truck Month is here, so let's get after it. Get 0 for 60 plus up to $1,000 bonus cash plus a no-charge 3-year Ford Protect Premium Maintenance Plan on F-150.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Are you a driver trainee just finishing school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Fuzzy? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. And Wireless Sandals Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wireless Sandals Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
It's easy. 29 down and drive. That's 29 down and you drive today. Or Premier will double your tax refund on a new vehicle purchase. Tax season is car season. 29 down or $99 a month and drive today. Or double your tax refund. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's Ford Truck Month. America, you know what to do. Now's the time to get after the best deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, 45 years straight. Also, great offers on Ford Ranger and the new Ford Maverick. Ford Truck Month is here, so let's get after it. Get 0 for 60 plus up to $1,000 bonus cash plus a no-charge 3-year Ford Protect Premium Maintenance Plan on F-150.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Are you a driver trainee just finishing school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Right, Fuzzy? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wireless Sandals Truck Line. At Wireless Sandals Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wireless Sandals Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Wireless Sandals Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
It's easy. 29 down and drive. That's 29 down and you drive today. Or Premier will double your tax refund on a new vehicle purchase. Tax season is car season. 29 down or $99 a month and drive today. Or double your tax refund. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's Ford Truck Month. America, you know what to do. Now's the time to get after the best deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, 45 years straight. Also, great offers on Ford Ranger and the new Ford Maverick. Ford Truck Month is here, so let's get after it.
That was his cousin.
Yeah, that's right. It was a cousin. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Max. And, of course, they're a wonderful group. And, of course, a good friend of mine runs the place. And I tell you, they've been around a long time and have served the people of Troy and Pike County for many years. Max Federal Credit Union.
Tell us some more about the passing of John Drew. He's a great Alabama athlete that
Did he
doesn't
die?
get enough attention.
Did he die?
Yeah, he just passed away.
Oh, man.
He passed away from cancer. He was 67 years old, but played 11 years in the NBA. Drew holds 3 state Alabama High School Athletic Association records from the years of 1969 to 72. At J.F. Shields High School in Monroe County, his career scoring average was 41 points per game. Single season rebounding records, also he averaged 21.8 rebounds per game. Remains among the leaders all time in the state of Alabama history. Single game scoring, he scored 77 points against Snow Hill Institute in a single game. He also scored 4,000 points in his career. Also, one season he averaged 44 points per game. Went on to play in the NBA, averaged 21 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. Of course, we mentioned during the break he had some substance abuse issues when he played in the NBA that kind of hurt his career. But one of the all-time great basketball players in the state of Alabama has passed away.
Oh, yeah, great. He's one of the top 5 ever.
He played for the Hawks, and you know who else played for the Hawks was Fast Eddie Johnson. Y'all remember him from Auburn?
Yeah. I'll tell you, the great one that played for the Hogs was a guy named Bob Pettit. He'd won, we're talking about Alabama, the kids from Alabama. There was a kid that played at I want to say Baldwin County High School or somewhere in that area that went on and played in the pros. That was really good. He played at a little old school up in Tennessee, I want to say.
Fast Eddie Johnson, I remember he played at Auburn when I lived in Opelika. He was really good.
Of course, Charles Barkley would have to be in
But
that
then they
list.
also had this guy, who was it, Mitchell, that played, that was a forward that
At Auburn?
from Dothan. Maybe I'm getting his last name right. That played with Fast Eddie Johnson. He scored a lot of points too. Auburn's had some really good players.
Was traded from the Hawks to the Utah Jazz. That gave the Atlanta Hawks the number 3 pick in the NBA draft. Who did the Hawks sign?
Dominique Wilkins.
That's correct.
Another great one.
Yeah, but Dominique went from
the highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins. Dad's seen greatness. He's seen Dominique Wilkins play against Michael Jordan in Atlanta.
Yeah, sure did, right behind the bench. Yeah, I tell you how it worked. I was in Atlanta on business, and I was sitting around just watching TV, and I noticed that something said Atlanta plays tonight. So I ran over there and got a ticket, and doggone, it was right behind the Atlanta bench. and I got to see them all real close. But the sad thing about it, you know who they were playing, don't you? Michael Jordan.
Yeah, what's that about that?
And well, I'll tell you what. No, I'll tell you what it was. Everybody in the gym was for Chicago, and very few people were for Atlanta. I mean, what I'm saying, it was strictly a.
Michael Jordan sold tickets for everybody.
That's right.
What is it like to see those guys up close? They're different, aren't they? You can tell how fast and
the whole game, of course, is over the rim. The game's played over the rim, so that's one thing you'd say about it.
I'll say my experience in NBA games is that they just don't miss. I mean, their shots are incredible, but they don't play a lot of defense in the NBA during the regular season. I will say that they don't really play defense until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why, but you're right.
That's why I almost feel like a college kid that, like, say the Davidson kid, J.D. Davidson. A lot of people say he's going to go to the NBA draft. You know, I feel like he'll actually play pretty well in the wide open NBA. You know, because it's like fast pace, up and down, layups, dunks. Yeah. He doesn't have a great shot yet. But
who is this Davidson guy, Mike? Who is this Davidson guy?
He's the guard that plays Alabama this year. He's the guy that was the state basketball player of the year 2 years in a row from Little Calhoun.
Oh, okay. And he'd never really played for Alabama or what?
He played at Calhoun. He did start for Alabama, but a few games this year. But everybody's still saying he could be a late first round, early second round pick.
You know, he's kind of like that guy that played for Godfrey that was one and done. Ben Wallace, or no, what was his name?
Gerald Wallace.
Gerald, thank you. I just can't get excited about these guys that are there for 1 year and, you know, that they're so-so. He didn't change the program, that's for sure. Alabama tanked at the end of the year.
Now, Alabama did have a guy about 4 years ago under Avery Johnson that did change the program. Colin Sexton was the real deal. He averaged over 20 a game, led Alabama to the NCAA tournament, made an unbelievable shot at the SEC tournament, and Alabama ended up going to the NCAA tournament. He was a phenomenal player, and he's been a great player in the NBA.
Yeah.
He was hurt this year. But yeah, I mean, Davidson actually is going to get hurt by how he played his freshman year at Alabama. He was projected lottery pick, and now they're saying late to early second round. So
he went down.
That year you got, you know, now that you got to play 1 year in college, and that hurt him. He would come right out as a freshman. I mean, out of high school to the draft, he'd been a first round pick.
That's a good point. No doubt. Well, he ought to come back, and I think he would, with a year under his belt, would show what he could do, and he would go back to being a lottery pick. But I bet he goes ahead and goes.
There's no guarantee money contract in the second round pick either. So the first round pick is guaranteed contract.
I saw where Mosley, the linebacker for Alabama, was released by Jacksonville. He never even played a game. He's Dylan Moses. He was the linebacker that was committed, given a scholarship offer in 8th grade. Came to Alabama, had one real good year, then he hurt his knee, came back and played, and he was not the same player at all. So a guy that was supposed to be a first-round pick the year before didn't even get drafted, and they didn't let him play last year because they said he had some injury and they wanted to let him heal up, and so he didn't play football last year. And before they even get to training camp this year, they released him. So that's a highly touted blue chipper that's life and career has not turned out like he thought it would.
Also, I saw where Reuben Foster is getting a trial with the Dolphins. So be interested to see if Reuben Foster, who's battled tons off the field and then blew out his knee, he must have had a severe knee injury. He's had a hard time coming back from it. He's trying to make it back in the NFL as well.
You know, Moses.
He was one of my favorite players when he played linebacker at Alabama. He was an unbelievable linebacker and great hitter. I mean, I still remember that lick you put on Fournette on that kickoff that time.
Yeah.
He was a thumper. But Moses is, I hope he got his degree and is a good kid, but you watched him his senior year, and I just kept marveling. I said, why is he still playing? You know, he was highly touted, and Coach Saban must have a soft spot for him. And it turns out that they said he was playing hurt with another knee injury. But he was blocked on just about every play and out of position. He actually hurt Alabama being on the field.
Of course, we started out. Go ahead.
You want to hear about Alabama? The Alabama assistant coaches have got new deals, big pay raises. Do you want to hear what it's like to be an assistant coach at Alabama? How much
Yes,
money you got?
I would like to, because Will was telling me about one local guy from Ozark doing pretty well up at Alabama.
Here's the new contracts for 8 of the 10 Alabama football assistant coaches were approved last Friday. Alabama is paying their assistant coaches $8.2 million in 2022. The coordinators, Pete Golden, a lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him. Big year for him. He had some off-the-field stuff happen, so hopefully he'll have his best year as a coach. Pete Golden's going to make $1.6 million.
Oh, gosh. Well, tell me, what was his background coming in? How long has he been at Alabama?
He's been in Alabama now about 6 or 7 years, I think.
No, I'd say about 4 years.
As the offensive coordinator?
Not as defensive coordinator, but he was a linebacker coach or safeties coach. When he came from University of Texas, San Antonio.
All right, wait a minute now. Is he the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, he's the guy with the beard and the bother.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, what makes anybody think he's worth $1.6 million a year?
No.
Kevin Steele at Auburn was making like $2.5 million.
Auburn can afford to pay it, evidently.
You just went into coaching at the wrong time, Mike.
Shocking here to me. Bill O'Brien, who was the head coach of the Texans for several years and coached, head coach of Penn State, he's making only $1.1 million, and it makes me feel like the Texans are maybe still paying him.
Okay, 1.1. That's pretty good living as an assistant coach at Alabama. Go ahead.
And then this is an unbelievable jump in pay. Alabama's got a new offensive line coach, Eric Walford. He's going to make $900,000 as an offensive line coach. They brought him over from Kentucky. At Kentucky last year, he made $450,000.
So he
doubled his salary at Alabama.
And last year he was the offensive line coach at Kentucky.
Yeah, we asked Coach
and
Summerall
Kentucky could run the football too, Mike. They were able to run the football.
Linebackers coach, special teams coordinator Coleman Holzer is set to make $495,000 this year. $495,000 or $595,000 in 2023, after getting only $300,000 he made last year at Ole Miss. So he's getting about a $300,000 raise as well. New tight ends coach Joe Cox will make $325,000 this year after getting $90,000 at Charlotte last year. A little different, get paid at Charlotte and get paid at University of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Defensive back coach Travaris Robinson is going to make $800,000 as defensive back coach. He coached at Miami last year, so they're not sure how much money.
And most all of these guys are new guys, Mike. I want you to talk about that in a few minutes.
Tide wide receivers coach Holman Wiggins got the biggest bump among returning coaches. He's going to make $850,000 from making $575,000 last year. Other returning coaches, Charles Kelly, the guy from Ozark we mentioned, Freddie Roach, Robert Gillespie, got between raises of $25,000 to $30,000 more in 2022. So Freddie Roach, the former Alabama linebacker, is going to make $750,000. Charles Kelly's going to make Charles Kelly's going to make $850,000.
Oh boy, a young man from just as an assistant coach from Carroll High School in Ozark, Alabama.
His name was in the running for the Troy head coach job.
Yeah, that's right.
Robert Gillespie, former Florida running back coach at Alabama, is going to make $565,000. And then David Blua, the director of sports performance, got a significant raise. He's the guy that's your strength and conditioning coach, took over for Cochran. He made $525,000 last year. As a strength and conditioning coach at Alabama, he's going to make $700,000.
$700,000. Oh boy. Okay.
Well, talk about the coach that's now off the field.
Yeah, off the field salaries is crazy too. Andrew Sabova and Sal Sinceri. Sal Sinceri's been with Saban like 2 or 3 times. His son was Benny Sinceri, great player at Alabama.
Yeah.
Will get paid their same salary. Sabova will get paid $450,000, but Sal Sinceri off the field, assistant to the head coach role, makes $700,000.
Okay, nice little
retirement. Who's the lowest paid coach on Alabama staff? You said he makes $325,000.
Yeah,
$390,000 is Joe Cox, tight end coach.
Yeah.
All right, so the lowest coach at Alabama, assistant, makes $390,000.
But you know,
how many people in Troy, Alabama, make a salary of $390,000 a year?
But now I'm going to say something that I'm
not many.
I'm probably wrong, but I bet you we might be looking at a staff that doesn't have but a 1-year contract too. What do you think about that?
No. These contracts are.
You think they're 2
to 3 years?
You think so?
I did know that the offensive coordinator just has
he doesn't keep a coach long now.
Well, they leave on their own. They don't like coaching for Saban. They can do it for only a short stint.
and then this will just tell you about what other sports make. Men's basketball coach, assistant coach Brian Hodgkin, he's the guy with the beard, got a raise to $425,000 as an assistant coach on Alabama's basketball team. So he's making $425,000. Then the new volleyball coach, Rashina Reed, will make $200,000 as a volleyball coach at Alabama.
Okay.
Her assistant coach will make $72,000. This is volleyball. And then Alabama's hired a new soccer coach. The new soccer coach at Alabama will make $162,000 a year.
Coaching soccer. Okay.
Well, I should have become a coach.
But now you think on these other jobs that you're talking about in football, Mike. These
that's your agent. Your agent gets you 2-year, 3-year contracts. Like Cornelius Williams, the former Troy assistant, when he got coached and fired at Auburn, his deal was for 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's still getting paid.
He's getting paid $650,000 from Auburn this year, even though he's now a offensive analyst at Alabama.
Is Cornelius at Alabama?
Yeah.
Well, great. I didn't know that, Mike. I'm proud for him.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show about 2 months ago.
But now you don't know what kind of money he makes at Alabama now, though, do you?
Nothing.
Well, it doesn't matter what he makes at Alabama. He's getting paid by Auburn.
Well, I'm proud for him and his family. He's got a wonderful family, girls, and just sharp as they can be.
Well, that is something else. I mean, the assistant, the lowliest paid coach gets $395,000. Now listen, they also get perks. They probably get cars. They get country club memberships. They get bonuses if Alabama wins the SEC or competes in the playoffs. So that's the base they get. They probably get a little extra for doing football camps.
And then if they go to a bowl game, they'll
get a bonus.
Bonus, whatever. Which they will always go to a bowl game,
I will say, though, from what I've heard, though, in the Sun Belt Conference, if you're an assistant coach on the field, have like an actual position coach, everybody on Troy's staff at least makes over $100,000 a year. So it's not like these guys are not making money at Troy too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's all changed.
But, and of course, you look at how many people go to see them play. Over 102,000 people go see them play every home game. That right there would be mind-boggling for other programs,
Mm-hmm.
Like Alto left Troy, I guess about a month ago to take the defensive back job in Missouri. I mean, that was probably about a $300,000 raise. How can you not take that job?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. And of course,
it'll be interesting. All this is state record. I guess we'll find out all these salaries of all Troy's new coaches on down the road as well.
Yeah, it's public record. This is a public school. Like I said, Miami, private schools, I guess, don't have to disclose it.
Yeah. And all of this is disclosed.
I'll say this: I did read reports that Summerall was projected to make about $800,000 to $850,000 in Kentucky this year.
Yeah. Oh, at Kentucky, but so that
as a co-defense coordinator. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying he was going to make a pretty good bit of money before he took the Jordan.
I'm sure the Troy coaches are. This is that they're